GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good night, Montreal.
Montreal police will detain two 20-year-old men today in connection with the recent anti-Semitic attacks that have shaken the city's Jewish community. Officers say the suspects are linked to a series of incidents over the past weeks, including vandalism of a synagogue and intimidation of residents in the Plateau Montreal area. The investigation, led by the SBVM's hate crime unit, intensified after 3 separate assaults were reported earlier this month. Detectives obtained warrants late Tuesday, and a coordinated operation is set for this afternoon at a downtown apartment complex. Police spokesperson Marie-Claude Bouchard emphasized that the arrests aim to disrupt further threats and reassure the community. The 2 men will appear before a magistrate later this week, where charges are expected to include hate-motivated vandalism and intimidation. City officials have pledged increased security around synagogues and community centers as the investigation continues.
CF Montreal is set to kick off its MLS season this evening against Toronto FC after more than 3 weeks on the sidelines. The club's last competitive outing came in late June, leaving the squad fresh, but eager to find rhythm. Coach Wilfried David emphasized that the 3-week break gave the team time to heal injuries and fine-tune tactics, but also warned that match sharpness will be crucial against a Toronto side that has already logged several games. Training sessions this week have centered on quick transitions and set-piece drills to sharpen the unit before kickoff. Fans can expect a lively atmosphere at Stade Saputo, with the home crowd hoping the Habs-style energy translates into early points. The fixture marks the first league action for both clubs this summer, and a win could set the tone for the remainder of the campaign.
The city's newest cultural offering arrives this week as a 2-year exhibition honoring Montreal-born Formula 1 legend Zhel Villeneuve opens in Parc Jean-Drapeau. Visitors can walk through a curated collection of race car replicas, vintage photographs, and personal memorabilia that trace Villeneuve's meteoric rise from local karting prodigy to international racing icon. Interactive displays let fans experience the roar of a turbocharged engine and hear the driver's own commentary on key moments at Monaco, Canada, and beyond. Curators emphasize the exhibition's aim to preserve the spirit of a driver whose daring style still inspires today's racers. The show will remain on view through July 2028, providing a seasonal backdrop to the park's summer concerts and fireworks. Admission is free, and the venue is accessible via the STM's Yellow Line to Jean-Drapeau Station.
Today, a leading ophthalmic surgeon at a major city hospital began live-streaming intricate eye procedures straight from the operating theater, giving medical trainees a real-time window into the surgery. The feed, captured in high definition, is accessible to residents and students across the province, letting them watch each step as the surgeon navigates delicate tissue and implants. Hospital officials say the technology bridges the gap between classroom learning and hands-on experience, especially when case volume fluctuates. By broadcasting the procedures, the team hopes to accelerate skill development and improve future patient outcomes. This move follows a growing trend among hospitals to use live stream platforms for education, turning operating rooms into virtual classrooms without compromising patient safety. The project is coordinated with the university's Faculty of Medicine, which plans to expand the service to other specialties later this year.
54 homeless women will be moved into newly built modular units in the Côte des Neiges, Notre Dame de Grace borough over the coming months. A rent supplement program will cap each tenant's rent at 25% of her income, easing the financial burden. City officials say the prefabricated complex is part of a broader push to expand modular solutions across the island and curb the homelessness crisis. The units assembled on vacant municipal land provide rooms, kitchens, and support services. Stakeholders hope the initiative will create a scalable model for rapid, cost-effective shelter while offering a path toward permanent housing. The project, approved earlier this year with a multi-million budget, earmarked funds for rapid, energy-efficient construction. Social services staff will manage the rent supplement allocations and case management for each resident. Officials note the Côte des Neiges, Notre Dame de Grace area had one of the lowest shelter bed ratios on the island, making the new units a critical addition to the local safety net.
We'll hear how Nurse John will headline Just for Laughs on July 24, plus more after the break. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're still with us. Let's jump straight into the headlines, and now Rachel takes us to the local stories.
Former Nurse John de la Cruz, better known online as Nurse John, is set to headline 2 comedy shows at the Just for Laughs Festival on July 24. The performances will take place in the Salle Wilfrid Pelletier, the festival's main venue. Organizers highlighted his rapid rise from hospital hallways to viral videos, noting that his blend of medical anecdotes and self-deprecating humor has resonated with a broad audience. CBC Montreal News confirmed that the shows will run back-to-back, giving fans a full evening of laughs. Festival director Deborah Arbeck said the inclusion of a local healthcare professional underscores the event's commitment to showcasing homegrown talent. Ticket holders can expect a mix of scripted bits and spontaneous crowd interaction, a format that helped Nurse John amass a sizable online following. The dates fall just a week after the festival's opening ceremony.
Oka, a Quebec cheese producer with more than 130 years of operation, is being sold to French dairy conglomerate Lactalis, one of the world's largest cheese companies. The transaction was announced Wednesday, July 15, at 15:07 Eastern Daylight Time. The acquisition will transfer ownership of Oka's facilities, brands and product lines to Lactalis, expanding the French group's presence in the Canadian market. Oka, founded in the early 1890s, has built a reputation for artisanal cheeses distributed across Quebec and beyond. Lactalis, headquartered in Paris, confirmed the purchase will be completed pending regulatory approval. Both companies said the deal will preserve Oka's heritage while leveraging Lactalis' global distribution network. The deal, pending Canadian competition approval, should close by year-end, adding Oka's specialty cheeses to Lactalis' Canadian lineup. The announcement marks a significant shift in the province's dairy industry.
The Quebec government announced today that the provincial sales tax has been removed on a select group of grocery and personal care items. Shoppers will no longer see the tax applied to staples such as fresh produce, dairy and bakery goods, nor to toiletries like soap, shampoo, and toothpaste. The change applies across the province and is already in effect, meaning receipts at checkout reflect the lower cost immediately. Officials say the move aims to ease household budgets after years of the tax covering most food purchases. Retailers have updated pricing systems to reflect the exemption, and consumers can expect the savings to appear on their next grocery run. While the tax relief covers only the specified categories, it represents a notable shift in provincial fiscal policy that will be felt at the kitchen table and bathroom sink alike.
Today, the Quebec government unveiled a $670 million investment to expand Charles Lemoyne Hospital in Longueuil. The funding will support the construction of 6 additional floors stacked above the existing emergency department, a move aimed at boosting the hospital's capacity and speeding up emergency care. Officials said the new levels will allow more beds, advanced imaging suites, and dedicated space for critical patients, addressing growing demand across the island. Healthcare leaders expect the project to begin later this year, with completion targeted within the next decade. The province highlighted that the expansion will help reduce wait times and improve outcomes for residents who rely on the hospital's urgent services. The construction phase is projected to create dozens of jobs for local tradespeople and suppliers, giving the area an economic boost while the new wings take shape. This substantial commitment marks the largest single healthcare injection in the region.
Chinese electric vehicle makers are gearing up to roll out models across Quebec, a province with strong plug-in adoption. The manufacturers cite the province's generous purchase rebates and expanding network of fast chargers as key draws. For commuters who rely on downtown parking spots, the influx could mean more affordable options that qualify for provincial incentives, potentially easing the cost of swapping a gasoline car for an electric one. Dealerships expect to open showrooms in major retail corridors. Analysts note that competition may push existing brands to offer deeper discounts, giving shoppers more choice as they consider the transition to cleaner transport. Households that charge overnight might see slightly higher rates, but the province's time-of-use pricing aims to keep bills manageable. The move also aligns with Quebec's goal of having half of new car registrations electric by 2024, a target that could accelerate as new models appear on local streets.
Now, let's get a look at your night forecast with our weather team.
A fast northwest jet stream is sealing in dry air while high pressure climbs, keeping Montreal clear tonight. On this date, Montreal once peaked at 33.1 degrees Celsius in 2013, a spike that rode the tail of a regional heat wave. The coldest reading fell to 12.9 degrees Celsius in 2015, when an Arctic blast slipped southward under a weak ridge. Normal July highs sit near 28 degrees and lows around 18, so today's 29 high feels just above average, while the 18 low matches climatology. That high record still stands, as decades have nudged July averages upward by 1 degree. The low record highlights the occasional plunge when polar air finds a pathway beneath the jet, reminding us that summer in Montreal can host both heat and cool nights. The live radar shows a clean canvas across southern Quebec, with no echoes over the island. A weak ridge of high pressure sits over the St. Lawrence, and the fast northwest jet aloft is steering any moisture well north of us. With the air mass already dry, no precipitation will develop tonight, and the clear sky will persist until sunrise. The lack of rain confirms the stable setup we're seeing on the surface. At 11 p.m. Montreal sits under a clear sky with a temperature of 22 degrees Celsius and humidity around 58%. A west wind at 13 kilometers per hour brushes downtown, but the jet stream overhead races northwest at 194 kilometers per hour, reinforcing a high-pressure ridge that is slowly rising. This high pressure seals in dry air and suppresses any cloud development, so the night will remain cloudless and the temperature will dip only to 18 degrees before sunrise. The UV index reads 6, and gusts may reach 32 kilometers per hour from the west, feeling brisk on surfaces. No weather alerts are in effect, and the lack of moisture means no rain will fall through the morning hours. As the ridge holds, tomorrow's daytime will warm to 29 degrees under clear, stable air mass. Looking ahead, Thursday brings a high of 26 and a low of 12 under clear skies as the ridge holds and winds stay light from the west. Friday's high eases to 25 with the low still at 12. Overcast clouds move in as the jet shifts north, allowing mid-level moisture to spread across the province. Saturday drops to a high of 23 and a low of 17, with an 85% chance of light rain as a cold front slides east, bringing breezy west winds near 30 kilometers per hour. Sunday stays cool at 22 high, 15 low, and a 50% rain probability, lingering moisture in the low levels. Monday returns to 23 and 15, overcast but dry, as the ridge rebuilds and the jet lifts farther north, ending the week with stable conditions. And that's your weather. Remember, the wrap is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, traffic updates, a look at today's events, and a preview of the Habs' opening season in Toronto. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
And now here's Jason with sports.
Montreal's teams are making noise from the pitch to the ice. Mark your calendars, the Canadiens open the 2026-27 NHL season on the road against the Toronto Maple Leafs on September 29th. Opening night features 2 all-Canadian matchups, with Edmonton hosting Vancouver later that same evening, according to CBC Sports. CF Montreal is back in MLS action after nearly a month away, and the welcome mat comes with a challenge. Arch-rival Toronto FC is in town. Sportsnet reports the club is eager to turn the page on a turbulent first half of its campaign as this Canadian rivalry resumes. The Montreal Roses earned a hard-fought 1-0 victory over the visiting Halifax Tides in Northern Super League play. Substitute Chloe Minas was the difference-maker, converting a penalty in the 77th minute to seal the narrow home win, per CBC Sports Soccer.
On a crisp Saturday morning on St. Laurent Boulevard, an Air Canada shuttle pulled up beside a bustling outdoor cafe. The bright red van, emblazoned with the airline's logo, offered a $9 ride to Montreal Trudeau International Airport. Inside, a young family tucked a stroller into the back, while a businessman in a crisp suit checked his boarding pass, grateful for a break from the usual construction snarls that choke downtown routes. Air Canada's community liaison, Marie Tremblay, explained that the service was launched to ease the heavy traffic caused by ongoing roadwork on the main access highways. She pointed to the shuttle's timetable displayed on a digital board, promising departures every 15 minutes from 3 key downtown stops. The real moment came when the shuttle glided past the historic Old Port, the city's skyline reflected in the river, and the family's toddler giggled at the passing ships. By the time they arrived at the terminal, the mother's sigh of relief said it all. A smooth start to a long journey. It's a small ride that makes a big difference for Montreal travelers.
In the bright atrium of the Palais des Congrès, the premiers of Quebec and Alberta stood beside their ministers of digital innovation, the air humming with the quiet click of translation headsets. A polished mahogany table bore 2 signed copies of the partnership agreement, each page edged with the red and gold of their provincial flags. As the documents were exchanged, a young data scientist from Montreal demonstrated a prototype dashboard that could route a family's social service request from a single phone tap to the appropriate agency in both provinces. The screen flickered to life, showing a mother's name highlighted, a child care appointment scheduled within minutes, and a reassuring notification that case is now in progress. The room's applause was not for the paperwork, but for the glimpse of a day when bureaucracy feels more like a conversation. It is a reminder that when 2 provinces combine their expertise, the technology they build can reach the people who need it most. That shared vision, grounded in everyday lives, carries us forward.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on The Wrap. Tonight's look at the new 2-year exhibition honoring ZHEL Villeneuve was a reminder of our city's vibrant spirit. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter to you. Until then, stay safe and keep the conversation going.